What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. We're going up on this channel and it's all because of you, man. Thank you. I'm very humbled. So people always ask me, Gun, when you talk about the woods, you always say they want some coffee, brother, right? And the reason I do that is because it's the truth. It's facts, man. Most of the woods that I've ran into, skins, woods, white men in particular, I don't say white boys on my channel, I say white men, man, because I give them people their proper respect because it's well-deserved and well-earned, right? And it's just the proper thing to do, man. Facts. So when I deal with white men in prison, one thing I know about them for sure is they sure love their coffee, brother. Coffee and stay the fuck away from us, Mexican. All right, that's how they be. But in real life, I think every convict that's incarcerated, doesn't matter what state you're in, but I know especially California, love that little vasito of coffee, right? You're going to be out on that yard. You're going to see them walking around with their intricate mugs, all inscribed, you know, basically their hoods on them, their little patterns, whatever. But that mug right there and that motherfucker is muddy. It's dirty, right? Yes, black coffee. White men like black coffee. And that's just what it is. Sprinkle a little sugar, a little cream. Hey, little crema never hurt nobody, brother. Right? And that's just how that is. But I've seen plenty of instances where incidences did place over merely just a few shots of coffee. You know, I told the story a bit about the old man Chet who had to knock a vato out because he ran up in his cell and took a jar of coffee. That was more so not about the coffee, but more so the disrespect of that old man. But this incident and this fucking story I'm going to tell you is about a couple woods, man, cellies that pretty much got into it over 2 shots of coffee. Now, in prison, there's commodities. There's certain things that you have or that you get that you're trying to hold on to like in vogue, right? That's just a fact. It's the way it goes, right? Coffee being the #1 commodity in prison, man. Everybody, as soon as they get their canteen set, first thing they do is they skip the deodorant. Fuck that. Smell like onion. They skip the shampoo. I got caspa anyways, right? And they go all the way down past the top ramen, all the way to the jars of coffee. And I've seen dudes max out on Folgers jars where they had to limit them to only 4 jars because these guys, especially the white men, they'll get $200 worth of fucking Folgers. Straight up. And just like the streets, people that are addicted to coffee, you see these Starbucks lines. They're all the way from here to there, right? Same thing happens in prison. You need that little vasito of coffee to wake you up, to get you motivated. Hey, for the vessels. That's just what it is, right? And one thing about the white men in particular, the woods, brother, is that they love their coffee. Coffee and orange fingers. That's coffee and cigarettes, right? They need that before they can even get anything started. That's why I don't understand how Wes Watson was up at 3 in the morning. My aura was not, fuck you. You got to have a shot of coffee before your aura does anything, brother, right? It's just what it is. He always skips that part. So anyways, there was these 2 cellies, man, 2 good woods. One was from Cocoa County. The other was from Shasta. Now, I remember these guys in particular because when I looked at them, they had the tweaker qualities. You know, lights on all night in their cell. And we'd pay attention as norteños. We always watched anyone who we consider targets or the opposition, kind of watched their patterns, made sure, watched when their lights went off, when their lights went on in their cell, how many times they were at the door. All this is written down. Best believe it. In the Northern Cause, everything on that yard is watched all the way to what cop is boning who, to, you know, what we had for chow last week. Everything is written down because if anything switches up and the program changes, guess what that means? That means there's going to be some smoke, right? And where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's flame, there's gain. So you always got to be on your toes so that way you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? You're already staying ready. That's a true fact in prison. So in watching these guys' cells, I would always see the lights were on, the way they acted, horseplayed, and their get down. You could tell that these guys were from Oakville, right? These vatos had tweakerish qualities. But at the same time, don't judge a man by his cover because just because he likes to be up a little bit doesn't mean he won't take you down a lot of it. And that's just that, right? So I would always tell the homeboys, hey, these 2 vatos right here, they like to horseplay, they like to giggle. But we have to watch out for these guys because they're dangerous. You know, they got them type of sneaky, dirtbag qualities, man. You know, hardly showering, up all night. Something's going on in that cell. Something in a binky fashion, right? For those of you that don't know what binky is, refer to the gunner handbook. And it'd be right there in between rig and coffee. There you go. So these guys were up all night like a 7-Eleven. But at the same time, they were pretty cool dudes, man. Never got in anyone's mix. Always were involved to a certain degree of what they needed to be involved in. They were just regular Woods. Didn't look like they were too political. Didn't look like they were trying to be heavy in the mix. But if it came down to it, fuck it, let's get it. And that's all you can appreciate from a soldado. That's what a soldado is in prison. Doesn't matter what group segment he's from. North, South, Brothers, or Woods, right? Hey, make yourself presentable when it's your time to shine. Do that. But if you don't have to go out of your way to disrespect anyone or rock the boat, why do that? You're not trying to sink it. You're just trying to think it. Now, coffee, like I say, causes wrecks in prison. Because if someone doesn't have it and they're jonesing for it, and believe they be jonesing for it, they're willing to go outside of the box, especially the Wood brothers, right? They're willing to go outside of the box to get coffee. Hey, Norteño. You be looking straight ahead. You're not even supposed to talk to these vatos. So, bro, what's happening? You're playing your little hand of pinochle, right? Finally got a good hand and the Wood's fucking it up, right? What's up? Hey, brother, don't look my way. Don't look my way. Don't look my way. I'm not. I see you got a jar of Folgers there. Yeah, I'm betting it, bro. Where there's one, there's two, right? Would you happen to have a shot of coffee, brother? They always do this. Would you happen to have a shot of coffee, brother? Like, yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, whoa. We're moving too fast, Northerner. We're moving too fast. You know I can't take nothing from you. Yeah, I know what's up, bro. So, there's a native partner that's over there. He's going to walk by right now. What I need you to do is drop about 4 shots of coffee and kick him to him. He'll pick him up, and then we'll go from there, brother. Okay, well, that sounds good, bro, but what do I get out of the situation? It's a white man's world, brother. You're in it. Nah, there's willing and dealing on a lot of business that goes on behind the scenes that you wouldn't necessarily think does. It's all respect, man. If a vault was doing bad and ain't got a shot of coffee and you got that, forward it to him, man. Look out for him. Because I've seen vatos go out on the yard and crash out like Brick Baby at No Jumper over some coffee. It just happens all the time. Vatos need their shit, straight up. Especially people that are just transitioning from the streets to county jails. Oh my God, we ain't even gonna speak on it. You all right, bro? You on heroin and shit? Nah, fool, I need Folgers, right? Fuck it, here, bro. Take my fucking decaffeinated coffee. They be drinking decaffeinated, talking about that shit really woke me up. It don't even got caffeine in it. But that's just what it is. So these two individuals, man, when they would go to canteen, which was very, very, they didn't go a lot. And there's a lot of people. I myself didn't make commissary every time. I wasn't full draw. You see vatos, they be like, hey, bro, I was balling in their full draw every time. Full draw means that they spent the maximum amount of money, right? Oh, I was full draw, packages every quarter. Man, my fat chick fucking, she was paying like she was weighing. She was about 2 something, so she knew she had to do something, right? And it was all good. Myself, I was on the meantime, in between time. Here's some knowledge you can't get in college. 90% of the guys that are incarcerated don't have family looking out for them. Don't have money on their books. Have to hustle, have to draw cards, do tattoos, wash some fucking calzones. Whatever they choose they have to do is what they're willing to do to get that jar of coffee, a few sopas, a deodorant. It's funny because I remember this one fat dude, bro. Every time, he'd be in that motherfucker drawing, sweating too. Oh, fuck, I'll just smear it in and say shading, right? He'd be in that drawing. And instead of ordering some hygiene, little shampoo, nope, zoos and wham-whams. Okay, hey, bro, so I owe you 10 bolas. What do you want? Give me a lista. Oh, yeah, brother. Them new honey buns, the ones with the chocolate frosting? Yeah, just give me $10 in those, right? Straight up. Like, hey, bro, it smells like fucking, like sentient in here. It smells like a garlic factory, brother. Are you gonna, you know what I mean? Hey, brother, don't tell me how to do my time and I won't tell you how to do yours, right? Okay, cool. I've seen people do that shit. So anyways, these two guys in particular, when they would get commissary, because one of them was like a porter, the other one worked in the kitchen, so they'd pull their money together and ball out. So 4 jars of coffee, 1 case of soups, 1 deodorant. They could just break it in half. That's what friends are for, right? And it was all good. But it seems like every time, and you could tell about canteen time, they'd run out of coffee. They'd be on the block trying to hustle, going from cell to cell. Hey, brother, I'm not supposed to look in here. I know. Hey, can I get a shot of coffee? What are you going to do for me, Jody Wiley? What have you done for me lately? Janet, right? Hey, brother, I'm white, man. and just talking to you is a privilege, right? Straight up. So these guys right here were about to crash out, or at least one of them was, over some coffee. So what had happened was these two guys had decided to get fronted a couple jars from, I don't know if it was their store, but it was another wood, right? It was another wood. And what happened was one guy was taking the credit out. The other guy, his credit was shot already. He had already went down that road. And the guy who ran the store was at their cell. And there was an argument that ensued. And one thing about prison is you don't argue, okay? There is no room for arguing. There is no room for disagreement. If you don't like something that someone else has said, you take that to your proper channel. You get that green clearance light and you go fucking handle your business, especially on a 4 or a 3 yard. Okay, there is not going to be no arguing and no pushing and no, you hit me, no, you hit me, I'd fuck me, would you fuck me, what'd you say? I said, hit me. Now, that's what it sounded like, Buffalo Bill, right? Place the lotion in the basket, right? No, there's not going to be none of that argument. It's going to go from 0 to 100. It's going to go from simply a disagreement to a stabbing on the yard. That's pretty much how it goes, because it's real life on these high profile yards, on these 4 yards, these 3 yards, High Desert, Pelican Bay, Salinas Valley, Centinela, these type of yards. When it rocks, it really rocks. People rock out with their cock out. They're not playing. Okay, there is no going to be none of that, pushing back and forth and third grade bullshit, Hey, your mom's a bitch. They ain't going to do that. It's just going to be straight up. So, this guy's at the door and there's an argument ensuing. So we're looking at each other like, okay, the Woods are going to get off. There's no way they're going to allow this to happen, because the powers that may be that were on that building are looking like, brother, what you gonna do, brother? Right? They ain't playing. And one thing about the Woods, yes, people say, Gun, are you making fun of them that they talk like Hulk Hogan? No, but I've ran into a lot of Wood brothers that do sound like Hulk Hogan. If you like Macho Man, but it just is what it is. If you're a WWE fan, stand up. You know what I'm talking about. So, you could see that the couple skins and some of the main Woods, they were kind of looking down like, bro, because the last thing you want is embarrassment to your people. The last thing you want is attention from the placa, because whatever you got going on behind the scenes, and believe there's a lot of business being conducted by everybody on that yard, every different ethnicity, right? That'll fuck it up. If a stabbing happens, be prepared. Not only does it fuck up your people's shit, but it fucks up everyone else's people's shit. And when our shit becomes your shit and it starts smelling like bullshit, then that's going to involve a lot of people. So something as simple as fighting over a jar of coffee can escalate into a full statewide lockdown. It's crazy, huh? But it gets that serious over some cafe. So anyways, this guy's arguing with the guy like, hey, you guys are already too deep in jars, bro. You guys are out here fucking asking people for shots. I'm going to go ahead and need my money. And these two dudes are at their limit. They're jonesing, their nerves. They're like, get the fuck away from my door, brother. Right? Straight up. So the guy's like, okay, you guys are going to burn me? And they weren't necessarily, I think, going to burn this guy, but it was just like, hey, bro. We're over here trying to devise a plan to burn someone out of the next jar. Get the fuck away from ourselves. You're fucking up our burn time, right? So that dude walks away all mad. You can see by the way he's walking, he's a white dude. Like, brother, I'm gonna fucking kill some Woods, right? I'm gonna burn some shit down. Smokey the Bear. So he goes up to his cell and whatever, right? So when we go out to yard, I'm like, hey, bro, I can see the junta. You can see the Woods arguing and discussing some shit, but they're trying to do it without anyone noticing. They're doing it like this, right? Putting their fingers down. So what had happened was the guy who has been taking out all the credit, right? And they've been drinking it together, this coffee, he's in trouble because he has to figure out a way to pay. So they're like, look, bro, this is what's going to happen. They came up to some type of decision. I think it was like probably put in some work or fucking pay as you can plan, whatever. They put him on the Gallo Negro. I'm on the pay as I can plan, eh? Orale. Don't talk to me like that in my home, right? So whatever they figured out. I wasn't the fucking mosquito on the wall to hear the white guys talk, but I know that they figured it out. So what had happened was the other guy, the one's credit was already shot, he was walking around asking other ethnic groups for shots. The natives, the others, and then they'll always be the northerners last. They'll ask the Southsiders, the natives, and the others because they could deal with them. They hardly ever ask the blacks. I'm just going to be real, man. It's a black and white issue in prison. I hardly ever see them go at it because when they do, but it's very far and in between time in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge you can't get in college. You're not going to see a lot of black and white riots. You're going to see a lot of black and South Sider riots, a lot of black and North riots, but not a lot of black and whites. Now, the whites will participate to a certain degree, and they will get off on the brothers if the brothers act stupid, and vice versa. Facts. But you don't see a lot of that because there's a lot, they hardly deal with each other. You know, the Woods guy, no, I ain't gonna get no shot of coffee from a black. They'd be nervous too. I ain't gonna get a shot of coffee. I mean, fuck. Look at that black dude got all the fucking coffee, brother. How's that? This is America, right? They be tripping. But they won't do that. So this guy was borrowing a lot of shots of coffee from different ethnic groups. Well, he borrowed a couple shots of coffee from the others, right? And one thing about the others, the Usos and the Asians, very quiet, very respectful people, but don't fucking play with them any type of way. I've said it before in so many spills. No, hey, oof, my Usos, right? You don't play with them. They get you in a headlock, they're just going to squeeze. Pop goes the weasel, because the weasel goes pop. They're not playing. So they're hitting this guy up like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here? And there's a lot of people. So the Woods have made a decision at this point. Hey, this fucking volatile right here, these two dudes got to go. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone. Let's skip a rock, right? This guy that had fucking got into it with his own people over the jars, and then the guy who was borrowing shit from other ethnic groups, which as a white man, they don't do that. They don't like that. They do it, but they don't like it, right? It's like watching Unsolved Mysteries. You can't believe that it happened, but it might have. That's kind of what it is with them, bro. It's a mystery. Shouldn't happen. So they told this fucking dude, like, hey, bro, you have to dust your celly. You know, that's going to get your get backs to be cool. And we're going to get rid of that dude because he's making us look bad to other ethnic groups. And one thing about the Woods in California prisons is, albeit a lot of them are not racial, a lot of them didn't get into this for that. You know, a lot of them are just trying to do their time, but they have to play that racial line. It's just what it is. You know, most Woods that are on yards, depending upon what yard, their program is heavily influenced by the Skins. Okay, and the Skins have certain ideology and certain methods and to their madness, certain ways about them. So that leaks off into the Woods, and you'll see a lot of young Woods that go in there. You know, one day they're bumping X-rated, the next day they're rated X, right? And they're getting fucking swastikas and they're earning their letters or their numbers or whatever, however that goes, right? But I've seen it happen time and time again. You'll take a young white dude that's never been that. He was, hi, my name is Slim Shady. And the next thing you know, that vault's in that motherfucking yard like that, right? It just happens. So the last thing they want is to look bad to any other ethnic group because they play that racial shit. Some of them. So they were tripping off this dude. So what happened was these guys were cellies, so he was easily accessible. And it's all over coffee. It's crazy because it all stems from coffee, brother, right? This dude, when they woke up in the morning, opened up his eyes, guns as badges, blue suits, and a dead white guy, right? This vault slaughtered this guy, man. Cut him up so many times, right? Cool part about it, bro, is when they brought him out of, this is facts, 100%. No crema, no fucking hot sauce. When they snatched this fool out of his cell, when they took the other body out on a fucking gurney, when they snatched him out of his cell, he was like, I fucking want coffee. I was like, damn, bro. It was some crazy shit. So that is why I remember that story. I've never told that story. There it goes. But that is why every time I'm on live or I do my spills, when I hear the word coffee to this day, I still remember that incident. So I'm always like, got coffee, brother, right? But every group drinks coffee equally. Okay, the Woods are more known for it just because they like to stay up, you know, they like to stay messed up, right? But the blacks, the Mexicans, the Asians, I mean, everybody likes a little wasso of their Starbucks. They like to get their Starbuckalization on so that way they can get their smashalization. That's just how it is in prison, the California system. I believe coffee has been generational. You know, it's always been a commodity that people need. Tobacco, coffee, and soups. You know, we haven't even gotten to the top ramen incident yet. We'll save that one for later. But yeah, so that is why, because people ask me all the time, Gun, are you trying to make fun of or clown? Absolutely not. I got nothing but respect for the Woods and the Skins. While being incarcerated, man, I've seen them do some things. I've gotten helped out in some incidences. You know, I did time out of state where there was a lot of Woods. There was a lot of white people, right? And I got mistaken my identity. You know, they were like, Gun, are you white or brother? Fuck that. First, let me drink a shot of coffee and then we'll figure it out, right? So, but I've gotten back. My play got back, man. I ain't gonna lie. I got into it with the brothers, the blacks, man. They were feeling some type of way, and a whole bunch of Woods backed my play, and we got off together. So I have a lot of respect for everyone, black, brown, white included. So no, there is no making fun. I'm not trying to clown. I'm not trying to defecate on anyone's character. I'm just telling it the way it is and having fun with it. So with that being said, gente, I hope you enjoyed the story of the day. I got a double banger, something else coming up this afternoon that's going to knock your whole fucking toenails off your socks. And that's just what it is. So with that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, the woods don't play. They'll fuck you off over some coffee. That's facts. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue myself to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. Now, in prison, and these are facts, everybody moves just a little bit different, but everybody is moving to that same beat. You know, whether it be fights over coffee, arguments over cantina, a fat fucker that just doesn't use deodorant, there's always going to be something going on that yard. There's always going to be tension. You know, the cold part about the situation, if you keyed in on the moral to the story, not the coffee, not the woods, but the fact that most of the fucking time you have to do your own people in. That's the cold part about jail, about prison, about incarceration, is 9 times out of 10, you're not going to worry about the opposition and what they're going to do to you. You're already prepared for that. You need to pay attention to what your own people are going to do for you, because they can only take so much, and then they make examples. Facts. You heard it here first, man. Knowledge you can't get in college. This is the gun.